Alright guys, welcome back to the RC Guru YouTube channel. This is the Build Series 87 Extra Cab Toyota. So we're on Build Series, this is part 3 I think. So what I did, I'll run through and I'll show you. This is just like a primer. I wanted to paint everything, it's not perfect, but everything has been sanded. I have items over there and over there. We'll get to see them all, but the important part for today is after you get everything sanded and primered, and after everything's sanded and primered, there's a really special step, and it involves these two little door keys, right? And it says in the manual, do not glue until proper alignment is achieved. So I'm going to show you, it's like a little trick. The only real way to get proper alignment is to like put it on a frame jig, right? So how do you do something like that? Well, we're just going to mount it to the truck. We're going to use the truck as the frame jig, and we're going to screw the body in, because that's it's going to be its forever place. That's where it's going to be square. We're going to put the hood on, and we're going to mock up the doors to make sure they fit quasi right, because these keys, they go inside. They go up to a lock position, and then they slide into an actual key. Can you see that, guys? That right there. So once it's glued and pushed up, it's there forever, and it kind of stops any non-rigidity that the front of this has, and has a support for the door, because there's also nothing for the door to swing on. And right now the front is just like, you know, pretty flexy. So that's how we're going to do this. So you put that right on. Did I line those up right? Oh yes, with the extra cab, it has this on the back and bottom. You can see that? And that needs to line up exactly with this cross member. Now I'm not running the shocks to the cross member, and if this is going to give me problems, I'm either going to shave this off, these two little tabs, or I'm going to get rid of the cross member. But that also reminds me, I got to take the posts off. Extra cabs don't lose posts. Ow. Alright, we'll take our posts off. They're vetoed, 86th. We'll take our, try that again, take our posts off. There we go. But then just an extra part spin down. Oh, there we go. Set them to the side. Set them to the side. Now, I like to use these little tiny screws just when we're starting. They don't have any length to them at all, and they don't need any length. They just need to align your body for you. So just get it set on one side, set on the other. Get your 2mm driver, and we're going to align the body. So with this step, you want to make sure that you put the screws all the way in, get a snug fit. That's why I only use such short screws for this step. And if you're me, you can really feel this body just flexing around right now, how rickety it is. That's bottomed out. That's bottomed out on the body post. These are the body posts that come with the extra cab, if anybody's wondering. That's bottomed out. There. Now, basically your body's on a frame jig. so everything will hold up there really nice. And it says to use E6000. So this is E6000. I think it's like a silicone based glue. Anyway, it says use 2-part epoxy or E6000. So E6000 is a lot more forgiving than 2-part epoxy. So, and that's what I have on here. So, excuse me, just for a sec. Alright guys, we're back. I got all the stuff gathered up. You can see I painted all the trim pieces black. I just masked out this little bit area on the front. Do a little chrome accent. You probably won't see that there. As that goes like that. You see? Just a little chrome accent for the bottom. Alright, yeah. That's the black. There's the doors. Mind you, it's all primer, so we're not going to put this in. We're aligning the door keys right now. That's what we're doing. So it says make sure your body's aligned, and then take your time, line the hinge mounts before gluing. This is essential to have properly operating doors. So here's the door. I put the hinge kit on the back of it. I use the assembly manual. So of course we want operating doors. Why wouldn't we? That's the whole point. And the hood's done. We can throw the hood on there. I painted the back also as well. We're going to paint it another color. But this is our primer base coat. And I also painted the inside and everything because you're going to be able to see some of the inside parts. You're going to be able to see down here. And if I leave the roof the way it is, it'll be painted white. If not, we're gonna like skin it. We're gonna have a roof liner, and we're gonna make it out of leather. There's the hood. That hood lines up really nice. I need to do some sanding and whatnot, but there, that looks pretty good. So the important part is getting these keys together, and then once we get these keys together, we can start gluing. No, we can't. Once we get these keys together and they sit and stay, once we get these keys in, then we can get our doors on. And once we have our doors on, then we have a truck, a canvas that's ready to be painted. Okay, so because all the prep work's done, but we'll get there's a little drip right there that'll need to be wet sanded off. Wet sand that little hair that's off there, and there's like a little drip there. And I had the clamp here to clamp it together, because the cab has been glued to the box. But back to the keys. So you want to take your doors. I know it shows the keys, and you kind of wonder which way goes what, but you kind of don't, because this top part has like a stab, and the bottom part has the actual lay-in key part. Now I don't care that they're gray. I didn't paint them white. I don't think you're going to see them a whole lot, but anyway. So now that the body's aligned, you don't really have to think about it. You just have to think about where you're going to put your glue. So what I would suggest for glue, just by taking a quick look, so this is E6000. Sometimes the top gets a little non-workable. So just get rid of that little bit. So you have a little garbage can, little garbage bag taped to the side of the table. Makes life super easy. So the way I work with E6000, the best way to do it, I find, is to just bulb it out and then dap it, because it likes to stay where you put it. So we need a lot on the top, and it needs to come down the whole back spine of this key. This is the only real important part to this truck to make the doors work. And then it's going to come all the way, and it's going to slide into that slot. So we want to make sure there's a little bit extra down here on the bottom. Not too much, just enough that it will kind of ooze out. Now this one is for this side of the truck. Right? Got glue on it now, I don't want to mess it up. Yeah. So we'll take the hood off. So I get glue on my fingers. Look at all the empty bags, eh? Anyway. And then all you gotta do is just slide it up. Once you get a good view at it, there we are. Something like that. Hope you can see right now. And once you get kind of just set in there, clean your hands up from the glue, and then it needs to get pushed all the way to the top. So I just grabbed number 3. I come over. I hope that's not the wrong side. That looks like it's the wrong side, guys. It happens to everybody. There's a little cut in the bottom, and it goes this way, and the wheel well goes this way. So that tells me this goes on the other side. Should I add some more glue to it? Yes, definitely. And probably speed up a little bit. Oh, we're running out of glue. Heavens. Alright, so I'm going to take this and slide that fucker right up there. Nice spot right there. I think the top of that needs a little bit of sanding, which isn't the best, but that's what we got to deal with. Top of the key right here. To go up just a little bit higher. That one didn't go all the way up. Now be careful when you're sanding this, because you might mess the doors up. Yeah, I know that's glued in there, but the reason we're using E6000 and not crazy glue is because you can still work with it. Maybe it's in the top out that thing. Okay, let's see if that fits in there any better. We'll put a little bit more on the top. Hopefully this will be the last time it goes in there. Fuck, I just touched the corner. Anyway. Don't get discouraged on the struggle bus. Now it doesn't want to go up at all. All right. There we are. That's one in. I think we'll take a little bit more off this next one here. We'll have an alignment look. It looks like it needs to go up quite a bit, to be honest. That's this door. Because the truck's still an open shell, you can see through everything and see where you need your doors to be. Well, it's not.
Great as that looks, it actually lines up.
Lines up perfectly, actually. Let me just push on that bottom part, maybe. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. We'll get a clamp in here. There we go. That's what it wants and needs. Clamp put in that side. You guys still rolling? Alright. So, that'll be it for today, guys, because we're already running late as it is. So these keys are super important for your extra kit. So when you get them in there, get them to exactly where you want them, and then clamp them in place. And use your door as reference, right? So, and that's the interior back there if you guys haven't seen it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and peace.